All right, family, I'm back. And if you don't know who I am, shame on you. Just kidding. I'm Kim McBride, also known as Get Keys with Kim. Okay, today I'm going to do a very quick lesson, at least I hope it's quick, on appraisals and what happens when a house does not appraise. So, an appraisal is completed by an appraiser. An appraiser is a third party, supposed to be unbiased individual that assesses a property to determine its value. And that's really important because the lender, so the person or the institution giving the money to the buyer, so loaning them their money to buy the house, wants to make sure that this house is actually worth what the buyer has offered to the seller. So they assess the property, they look at the interior, the exterior, they do upgrades, they compare that particular property known as the subject property to other properties of similar size and layout and feature in the neighborhood, and then they give you a value. They also do some other things, like they look for federal safety standards just to make sure that there aren't issues with the property that may kill whoever lives in the house. So again, windows and doors that don't lock, peeling and chipping paint, smoke detectors that don't work, handrails, trip hazards, things like that, right? So that's what the appraiser does. Appraiser is hired by a lender to go out and do a valuation or an assessment of a property. So now that we've got that squared away, let's talk about what happens when a buyer offers a particular price on a house, and when the appraiser goes out, they find that the value is less than that. So let's use $300,000. A buyer puts in an offer is accepted. They're going to purchase a house that's $300,000. And let's say the appraisal comes back and it comes back at $295,000. Here are a few things that can happen if that were to happen. Number one, we can look to renegotiate the price. When I say we, I'm speaking as if I'm a buyer's agent. So I can look to renegotiate the price. I would get an addendum, prepare that saying, hey, yes, we said we were going to offer $300,000, but the bank is only going to loan us $295,000. They're only going to loan us the value of the home, and so we would like to reduce the price. The thing about that is the seller could still say no, right? And if they say no, the buyer does have the option to walk away, or they could do the following. The buyer could decide that they're going to pay the difference. So the difference between $295,000 and $300,000 is $5,000. So in addition to down payment and closing costs, the buyer could actually give another $5,000 to make up the difference. Not sure why anybody would do that. I know there are certain cases where that makes sense, but the average buyer doesn't make sense to pay more for the house than what the house is worth. Okay? Then there's the option to get a second appraisal. Now, usually when there's a second appraisal done, that is at the expense of the buyer. So, I mean, if the buyer is really like, no, I think this is wrong, or one of the agents feel like, well, I think this is wrong, somebody could pay for another appraisal. And those appraisals run between $550 and $700. So that's usually a last resort, but that is an option. And then finally, there is the option to do a valuation reconsideration. I have done that a few times in my lifetime. I think I've done it at least 5, and I'm 4 for 5. Now, let me be honest. I'm really, really good, but some things are just out of my control and out of my hands. But if for some reason either party, either the buyer or the seller, feels like the value is incorrect, they can reach out to the appraiser. Some appraisers can be real jerks and be like, don't talk to me, don't call me, I don't care, I said what I said. But some will actually listen to you and say, hey, can you share what comps that you use, which are in the report? That'll be in the appraisal report. And comps are comparable homes. So we'll say, we saw some of the comps that you use, but I think you might have missed these. That's what I would say. Can you consider these? And I put together a full report and send it back over and have them reevaluated. Again, 4 for 5. It works when it makes sense. Again, get with your real estate agent to guide you through that process. Am I making sense? Okay, so there are some other steps and other negotiations that happen and deadlines that need to be met when something like this happens, but it's case by case, it's state by state, it's agent by agent. You need to get with your agent to get more information. I just wanted you to be in the know. Why? Because when I say get keys with Kim, I don't just mean house keys, okay? I mean keys like I'm dropping... And not those type of keys. Not like the cartel. I mean keys like knowledge. Like I'm giving you keys to education and information. I want you to be better. I want you to walk away better when you leave these videos. Are you walking away better? Are you walking away better? If nothing else, am I giving? Am I serving in these videos? I'm trying. Get keys with Kim. Have a blessed day. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, right? Just like HGTV, there are a lot more steps that you don't see behind the scenes. But I get that question a lot. Well, what happens if I offer a particular price on a house and then the house is not actually worth that once an appraisal has been completed? And now you have your answer. You're that much smarter. So when I say get keys with Kim, I don't just mean house keys. I mean keys to knowledge and information. I'm sharing. I don't gatekeep, okay? I give. I'm not a taker. I'm being silly. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Be blessed. Walk in your purpose. Deuces.